Hey there and welcome to this video on the recent collapse of Silicon Valley Bank UK, and the impact it is having on the UK startup scene. Silicon Valley Bank is a financial institution that has played a pivotal role in supporting and financing UK startups for many years. However, as we'll discuss in this video, the recent collapse of its UK arm is causing panic among UK entrepreneurs and investors. So, what led to the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank's UK arm? Well, it all started with the bank's attempt to raise $2.25 billion to offset losses from the sale of mainly US government bonds. Unfortunately, this led to a 60% share price collapse, causing customers and investors to withdraw their money in droves. As a result, the Bank of England sought a court order to place Silicon Valley Bank UK Limited into insolvency. The impact of this collapse on UK tech startups is potentially massive, with industry sources estimating that up to 30% of UK tech startups could be affected. Many startups use Silicon Valley Bank as a payroll facility, and it's also commonly used as a banking partner for venture debt loans. Without access to this funding, startups may struggle to meet their payroll obligations, and their growth prospects may be severely impacted. Understandably, there are a lot of panic among UK entrepreneurs and investors right now. Some 210 UK tech CEOs and founders have written to the Chancellor of the Exchequer about the issue, and there are calls for action and representations to HM Treasury. The collapse of Silicon Valley Bank UK is causing concerns about the future of UK tech startups and the potential long-term consequences for the industry. As expected, there is also political fallout from this situation. Opposition MPs are calling on the government to urgently assess the scale of risks to UK firms posed by the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank UK and work with firms to manage those risks. The government's responsibility to address the issue is a key concern, given the importance of the UK startup scene to the country's economy and future prosperity. So, what happens now? The Bank of England will take over and may appoint a liquidator, or it may try to find a buyer for Silicon Valley Bank UK first. If all goes well, the buyer will move quickly, but due diligence will take time. The BO is likely to be sensitive to both its legal obligations on insured deposits and the reality of making cash available to keep businesses going. The collapse of Silicon Valley Bank UK is causing panic and uncertainty among UK tech startups, investors, and entrepreneurs. The potential long-term consequences for the UK startup scene are worrying, and the government needs to take action to manage the risks. In response to the shutdown of Silicon Valley Bank in the US, the UK government sought a court order to place Silicon Valley Bank UK Limited into insolvency. This move could potentially affect as much as 30% of UK tech startups, with potentially 10%, industry sources estimate. The fallout from the US had reached the shores of the UK and Europe, and influential groups of UK entrepreneurs and investors are making hasty representations to HM Treasury over the implications of SVB UK's shutdown. The collapse of the US bank came after it tried to raise $2.25 billion to offset losses from the sale of, mainly, US government bonds, leading to a 60% share price collapse. This caused customers and investors to empty their accounts, leading to the bank's shutdown. This situation could have an enormous impact on the UK startup industry, with some industry leaders suggesting that there could be 300 UK startups struggling to meet payroll next week. Several VC firms in Europe told LPs not to send money via SVB UK. HM Treasury has sent around a note to be distributed amongst tech companies asking for information on the approximate amount on deposit at SVB UK, their cash burn, and whether they are only with SVB UK or have access to other UK banking facilities. The BO takes over from here and may appoint a liquidator, but more likely will try to find a buyer for SVB UK first. In the meantime, the BO is likely to be sensitive to both their legal obligations on insured deposits but also the reality of making cash available to keep businesses going. Administrators and liquidators in the UK have the power to keep SVB UK trading if they believe that trading preserves or increases the value of an asset. Overall, this situation highlights the importance of having a diversified banking strategy for startups and the potential impact of global financial crises on smaller businesses. It also highlights the need for governments to support and protect their startup ecosystems. Thank you for watching this video on UK Startup Panic, Silicon Valley Bank's Collapse on UK Tech Startups. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, InfoTube USA. Also, feel free to share your thoughts and comments about the topic in the comment section below. Thank you again.